Hey everybody, welcome to The Word on the Street Is with Michael and Gabby, where we mention it all about your favorite Bravo celebrities and the shows that they star in.
We are on episode 3 already. Time is flying, and we've been having a lot of fun. But before we get started, we want to point out that we're wearing our Sarah Kathleen design shirts. Gabby, do you want to introduce yours?
My quote says, I'm not really sure what I've done to you, but I'll take a Pinot Grigio. This is a Stassi quote, and while I'm not a fan of hers any longer, I just still love this quote for a lot of reasons, but mainly because I love Pinot Grigio. It's my go-to white wine.
That is an iconic quote, although, yeah, I'm not a Stassi fan anymore.
Yeah.
And mine says Bravoholic. I actually won this, and I got this Bravoholic sticker and a little koozie because Gabby and I have been doing trivia every Tuesday night at 8:30.
We will include the Instagram that has all the trivia details in the description of this video, so you can join in too. And you have a chance every week to win Sarah Kathleen goodies. Another thing that I ordered from her store was a customized mask, and you can choose like any housewife quote. And for mine, I chose "mention it all." I love anything that's personalized.
Yeah, I love it. And she has one that's the word on the street is. So I think we need to get one of those each for when we do our podcast.
I agree.
Trivia is super fun. They do like 4 rounds of 10 questions. It's on Kahoot, and everyone does really fun names on Kahoot. When I won, my name was Marlo's Peach. Gabby's done LVP's Closet, like just funny.
It's something fun to do on Tuesday nights. I know I look forward to it every week.
Same, especially during quarantine. That's like my fun activity now. Let's get into some Bravo news. And the word on the street is Brittany and Jax from Vanderpump Rules just announced this week that they are having a baby. So, what are your thoughts on that?
My first thought is that you're a Bravo psychic. You literally called this.
I
Michael,
did call this in the first episode.
you also predicted Teddy getting fired, which I actually was really surprised about.
I'm ready to make another prediction here with the trajectory of where Jax and Brittany's relationship is. I think he's going to cheat on her again, either while she's pregnant or like right after she has the baby, because knowing him, she's going to pay more attention to the baby and he's going to get mad and he's going to go out and cheat. That's my prediction.
Unfortunately, I could see that happening too.
I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that, he treats her well and that, he's a great dad. I'm sure he will be a great dad. Well, our next piece of news is that there have been cheating rumors that Harry Hamlin has been cheating on Lisa Rinna. So I have the tweets here. I'm going to read them. Somebody accused the accusation. She said, my girlfriend blanked Harry Hamlin in Muskoka for an entire summer in 2018. You want to talk about that at Lisa Rinna? Or do you want to talk about his affair with Patricia?
Who is Patricia?
Is it Patricia Altschul?
For those of you who don't watch Southern Charm, she is a really fabulous Southern socialite who's, I don't know, how old do you think she is, Michael? In her 70s, maybe?
I would say 70, around 70.
She's really fabulous. She alone is worth watching Southern Charm, but I don't think that's who Harry Hamlin had an affair with.
No, Patricia is like the Lisa Vanderpump of Vanderpump Rules. Like, she's not a cast member. She's just kind of like their mom.
And she reminds me a lot of Dale, Tinsley's mom from RHONY.
Yeah. Rinna's reply to that was, yeah, and I watched. It was hot as hell. Patricia, well, she's kind of a downer. I didn't like her so much. I think Rinna has a good sense of humor, but I'm not sure if she's being funny or if she's actually like deflecting.
I don't know what's real with her anymore.
I don't either. I mean, she's an actress and I definitely know she plays it up for the camera. I mean, I still love her, but
I was pretty surprised though that all these Harry cheating rumors came out because they are one of the couples that I would say are pretty solid on Housewives, or at least that's the impression they were giving off.
Yeah, they seem like a solid couple. I mean, Kyle and Mauricio seem solid too, and there's been a lot of Mauricio cheating accusations. There's been also some that Tom has been cheating on Erica. I mean, I don't know what to believe because there's always accusations about celebrities. She also posted this and she said, appreciation post to my very busy husband who apparently doesn't live with us, is having a lot of affairs and is gay. Speaking of Rinna, today she actually launched her Rinna Beauty line, which is going to be lip kits, lipsticks, glosses. So watch out, Kylie.
Watch out, Kylie, and watch out, Lala.
Yeah, she's coming for their gig.
I need to confirm if Lisa Rinna's brand is cruelty free. Did you happen to see if it is?
I think it was. I saw something that said it was.
Lala and Kylie's brands are both cruelty free as well. I don't wear anything that is that's tested on animals. It's really important to me. So
Yeah, same here. If I wore makeup, which I don't, I would obviously not. I would obviously wear cruelty free as well. Getting more into Beverly Hills, last week we had a lot of sad news, a lot of departures, and potentially Leah wasn't coming back. Well, this week I feel like is more upbeat for us because finally Teddy has been fired. Like, our prayers have been answered. I mean, personally, I wanted her gone after her first season, so I've been waiting for this for a while.
I'm pretty happy that Teddy's gone. While I don't usually like to root for people losing their jobs, she's going to be just fine. I thought Teddy was a really poor casting choice, and I'm not sad to see her go.
I like that she was honest in her goodbye message, and it still kind of annoyed me when she goes, I don't want to bore you. But, she was honest. She said, they're not asking me back. It feels like a breakup, whatever. I mean, I guess I can appreciate that. And I like to pick on her and I don't like hate her as a person, but I don't like watching her. I think her on the show, her presence on the show makes me not like Kyle as much. I just think something about their friendship makes Kyle so unlikable. So I'm kind of ready for Kyle to be back on her own, and I'm hoping that she's more likable without her.
A lot of fans are rejoicing at the fact that she's left. And I saw that her husband, Edwin, posted something about her departure, which I thought was a little unusual for a Real Housewives husband. I don't usually see them post about their wives leaving the show. He wrote in his caption that he can see the disappointment on her face when she got the call about her contract not being renewed.
I mean, whatever. No other husbands do that. And then Kyle made a big post, and then she sent her flowers. I'm like, really? Watch now, Kyle will never talk to her again.
I know, I do always wonder which Real Housewives friendships are real and fake.
Yep. And then now that Tamra and Vicky are gone, they've cut Shannon out. So it makes me wonder. Talking about next season of Beverly Hills, it appears that everyone else is going to be returning for season 11. So we'll have Erica, Lisa Rinna, Kyle, Dorit, Garcelle, and Sutton in some form. She's either going to be a friend again or maybe she'll get bumped up to full time. Kathy Hilton has been in talks with production, but so there is basis to what the claims are, but we're not really sure if she will be on or not. So
I think it's a solid cast.
I think it's solid, especially if Sutton's full time, and then if we get a newbie, I think maybe it'll be good. And I also heard that they're trying to just have like a fun season next season, like little drama after the reception of this season with this carried on drama. So
Diving into Real Housewives of New York City, we have confirmation that Leah McSweeney is coming back for the next season.
Thank God, another good piece of news this week.
Leah went from making $3,000 an episode to an increase to $10,000 per episode. And like we said last week, she is worth every penny.
Yep, it's definitely what she deserves. With losing Dorinda, Bethany, Tinsley, I don't get how Bravo couldn't pay her. But I definitely think that Leah deserves that salary. I think it totals to close to $200K, which is a lot more reasonable for her, in my opinion. Another, Bershawn Shaw is going to be joining. She's another woman of color. She's a motivational speaker, actress, and she's also a breast cancer survivor.
I'm really excited to meet her. We desperately need more diversity amongst all of the Bravo franchises. So I'm really happy to see that finally we're getting that on The Real Housewives of New York City.
And it's so weird because New York City is so dense with so many different, so many different races. It's time after 12 seasons. So we also want to report on Atlanta because they are currently filming the new season and they are on their cast trip right now. It's suspected to be on the coast of the Carolinas. So we're going to have Candy, Cynthia, Portia, and Kenya back. We're also going to have Tanya, Marlo, and Shamia as friends slash guests again, which I'm happy about. I think Marlo and Tanya especially are such great friends on the show. I feel like Tanya and Marlo are going to be more friends and Shamia is going to be more so a guest. But I do like that what Atlanta does, instead of Beverly Hills where they always have one designated friend, Atlanta does a good job of including more women in the group, even if they're not full time. And I think that's what makes Atlanta so entertaining because we have always such a big group and there's always drama or something going on. And I think it makes it more fun.
Agreed. And they've had a couple of bad casting choices, but overall, it's always a really solid cast. It's not like Orange County where it's like they constantly make horrible casting choices.
Exactly. And I think having that bigger cast on Atlanta allows for them, if they do make a poor casting choice, it's not going to ruin the whole season. Like Shamari, I don't think she was amazing, but it's such a strong cast that it didn't matter. Whereas OC, they make one bad casting choice and then it kind of ruins the whole season. But we're also going to have 3 new girls joining because we have lost Eva and Nene. First is Drew Sidora. She's an actress. She was in That's So Raven, Step Up. We also have Latoya Ali. She's a Canadian influencer and she has close to 1.5 million followers on YouTube. And she's also currently going through a divorce. She's supposedly going to be Kenya's friend.
Okay, I wonder if she has any prior connections to Tanya since they're both Canadian.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even make that connection. We have Fallon Guobadia. I hope I said her name right. She's a socialite and she's married to a wealthy businessman. And she is more so friends with Portia and Shamia. My Bravo psychic skills are coming back. My prediction for the next season, since I know that Kenya and Portia have been feuding, I feel like we're going to have these 2 cliques.
And if it's going to be like a Portia Kenya showdown, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's one of my favorite feuds ever in Housewives. Well, our final piece of Bravo news, Gabby and I have both been binging Southern Charm lately, and we're almost caught up. But it was just announced today that season 7 is going to be coming back on October 29th, and the trailer dropped. I'm kind of sad because we're losing a lot of cast members. We're losing Naomi, Cameron, Chelsea, who I like all 3 of them.
I am really sad that Cameron's leaving. She is one of my initial favorites. I've never stopped liking her. Naomi, I'm sad to see her go.
And we're also losing Eliza. I haven't watched her. I haven't watched season 6 yet, but I haven't heard good things about her. Well, we're also getting new cast members. John Pringle. He went to college with Shep, so that's his prior connection. And we're also getting Leva Bonaparte. Hopefully I said that right. Bonaparte, maybe. She has, from watching the show, I've seen her in a couple scenes. I liked her from what I saw. She is also a woman of color. I believe she's Persian. I am excited for her, especially from watching the trailer.
Me too. I'm really excited for this next season. We saw that Leva called out Catherine on her white privilege in this trailer, which looked like a really intense fight.
I'm excited for that. I mean, Leva seems super progressive, especially in a southern city like Charleston. She's obviously a woman of color, and I'm glad that we're adding her, and I feel like she's a very natural addition because she's already been friends with a lot of the women on the show, and we've seen a lot of her already. And we also saw that a statue of one of Catherine's ancestors who was an enslaver is being taken down, and that's kind of when Leva's calling her out. So
Yeah,
I'm really interested to see that.
I'm curious about how much of Catherine's family history she actually knows about. She doesn't seem to have any clue about the amount of white privilege that she has. I do.
But I think it'll be an interesting conversation for her. But we also see a little bit, kind of like in OC, we're seeing some quarantine and coronavirus themes, which is going to be kind of funny. I thought the funniest part of the trailer was Patricia with, I don't know what it was, a germ wand or a UV wand, and she got some package and she's waving it across the box. And I think Michael, her butler, is like, "Don't go too fast, you're gonna miss the spot." I thought that was hilarious.
Patricia alone is an amazing reason to start watching Southern Charm.
She's great.
And we also learned that Thomas Ravenel, Catherine's ex and the father of her two children, he has gotten another woman pregnant, and that baby was born sometime in June of 2020.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I guess good luck to him.
He just has such a huge ego, and I really don't like the way that he treats women.
No, I hate it. His personality ruins it all for me. So, yeah, we're definitely excited for the new season. I think we're going to be recapping it on the podcast. So, stay tuned for that. I think that'll be a fun new segment when that starts. Let's get into the Real Housewives of New York reunion part 2.
I love this new Luann. This is such a shift from Call Me Mrs. de Lesseps to a really awesome Lou. The topics that she was talking about how our prison systems are broken, there really shouldn't be for-profit prisons. It's a really great shift for me in Luann, and it just makes me like her even more.
I feel the same way. I mean, going into the season, I was ready for Cabaret Luann and Countess Luann, and I've been really impressed with her this season. I mean, besides the one meltdown in the Berkshires where she got mad at Sonia, I really enjoyed her this season. She was a really big surprise, and I don't know, she's been really pleasant for me.
Yeah, Lou definitely has become a fan favorite this season if she wasn't already.
I think Luann and Leah definitely carried this season for me, and I like their friendship too.
I do too. You could tell the way they hit it off right away, connecting over being arrested, that it seemed like a fairly genuine friendship.
They've all been arrested on New York. I mean, Luann, Leah, Tinsley, Sonia.
I was really bummed when Andy said goodbye to Tinsley, which means she's not staying for the third part of the reunion.
I was bummed too. I mean, it was kind of a nice surprise for me to see her on the reunion because I kind of wasn't expecting her to be on at all. But it's sad because we're probably never going to see her again.
Unless they do a Real Housewives of Chicago, then I don't think we'll ever see Tinsley again.
Which I think would be interesting. But I heard that if they were going to do that, they want to do a Housewives. When they start a city, they want to do women that have lived in the city and are like well known there. So I don't know that that would work with Tinsley, but you never know.
Yeah.
I'd like to see her personally.
I was very interested to learn that Bethany actually suggested Leah for the show, along with like 30 other people.
I was surprised by that too, but then I didn't realize that she left the show literally days before they were about to film. Like Dorinda didn't know that Bethany was leaving until the night before they filmed. So it was very sudden, but it kind of surprised me that it felt like she was taking like a production role, but I feel like she felt bad because she left so soon before they started filming. So she's like, "Here, I'll give you this list of women that you could potentially cast for them.
Why do you think that Ramona gets so triggered every time Bethany is brought up?
It's so funny to me. I like immediately when she heard Bethany, she was so triggered by it. She's like, "Why are we talking about Bethany?" And then she says to Dorinda, "Bethany's in your ear." I think it's just because she's jealous of Bethany. She's happy that Bethany's gone because Bethany was a fan favorite and Bethany kind of ran the show, and she doesn't want to talk about her anymore. She wants it to be all about Ramona. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with you 100%. And speaking of Ramona being a horrible person, who does she think she is to out someone else's mental health disorder?
One, out it, which is awful in itself, and then making up excuses for it, saying to Leah, well, why don't you just own it and help America? There's 12% of people are bipolar. Like, who are you? That's Leah's own mental health. That's her own journey. Like, and then to not even apologize and come up with these bogus excuses.
Yeah, Ramona just never ceases to show her true colors. She's not a nice person at all.
And I feel like that was something that she would have talked about eventually, but that wasn't Ramona's place to ever say. And I also kind of hate how it came out. I feel like one of Ramona's 50 friends went online and found that article and basically was just doing Ramona's dirty work, just digging up dirt on Leah.
Yeah, that feels very on brand for Ramona to do something like that. So, to wrap up this week's episode, we are going to share a very fun fact with you, and that is about one of our old school housewives, Dina Manzo from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Jersey, I recently learned, actually wasn't Dina's first stint on reality television. She starred on the reality show My Big Fat Fabulous Wedding. I've never seen that show. The name is pretty hilarious to me, just that the adjective fat is in there, not PH fat, like fat. This show documented her wedding to Tommy Manzo. So other Jersey fans will remember that Dina is Caroline Manzo's sister, another OG housewife of Jersey. Caroline is married to Al Manzo, Tommy's brother. So basically, sisters married to two brothers. So Dina and Tommy got married in 2005 at the Brownstone. Pretty
Yeah.
iconic throughout like all the seasons of Jersey. So they got married there in 2005, divorced in 2016. However, they were separated quite a few years before that. So while I'm reading all of this about Dina and Tommy, I'm wondering, well, why was Tommy on My Big Fat Fabulous Wedding but not Jersey? Why wasn't he on Real Housewives of New Jersey? Well, during an episode of My Big Fat Fabulous Wedding, Tommy and Dina were filmed during an interview where Tommy admits to Dina that he was cheating on her for months before he decided to settle down with her and get married to her. And that being said, I'm pretty sure that's why we never saw him on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. I mean, what an awful person. And also, I don't really understand why Dina would marry him after that, but anyway, that's another conversation. He's actually not the father of Dina's daughter, Lexi. To wrap up this week's fun fact, in 2017, Dina and her boyfriend David were attacked in their home, and reports say that David was hit with a baseball bat. Dina had tape put over her mouth, and that's not even the worst part. Apparently, the person who broke into their home and attacked them was hired by Dina's ex-husband, Tommy.
The craziest thing is, I do think that that family has ties to the mafia or the mob or whatever. Their father was killed in like a really weird fashion. And also, Tommy hired somebody to basically attack Dina's new husband in some parking lot or something. So it's really sketchy. And the worst part for me, I don't like Caroline, and I feel like she has taken Tommy's side over Dina, her own sister. I think Caroline's the real clown in all of this, and I'm team Dina. So
Love the clown reference. I don't know why Caroline would ever take his side over Dina's.
It's so wrong, and she always goes, "Well, we'll go where the truth is," and I'm all about family, but then her actions show otherwise, so
I thought that this fun fact was like pretty juicy because I really didn't know very much about Dina, come to think about it. She was a pretty private housewife.
she was, and she was only on season 1 and season 6, which was just an awful season, so I don't think season 6 did her any favors.
Thank you so much for tuning in this week. We really enjoyed discussing all things Bravo with you. And we will be back soon with more Bravo updates and more fun opinions to share with all of you.
Definitely, we got RHONY reunion is wrapping up next week. And a couple more weeks, we got OC and Southern Charm and Salt Lake City. So we got a lot to look forward to. So stay tuned.